Good morning, welcome back to a brand new video. I am full of energy this morning because the weather is absolutely glorious. It's fair to say that spring has finally sprung. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at the house, just nestled between the trees, and there's such a variety of wildlife coming out. And look over there, the floating duck house is just chilling in the middle of the lake, and I got some really exciting things to be getting on with today. Some new things have arrived in the post. I don't know if you can see that, but just as I'm walking around the lake, I can see an army of frogs just sitting on top of the azolla. They're absolutely everywhere. It's ridiculous, there's so many frogs. Once I put some bass in here, I don't think they're going to last very long. And you're probably wondering, you live in Portugal, it's always really sunny and nice weather all year round, but that's not actually the case. Obviously, some parts of Portugal are like that, but where we live in the mountains, it's very different. We get some proper seasons, and we've had some proper rain, some proper cold, a little bit of snow, and it's just really nice to have this beautiful spring day where everything just feels like it's come to life, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just walking down now to the small pond, and this is one of my favorite walks, especially in the morning when the sun's just coming up. It's so cinematic. So to give you some context of where I am, the lake is up there behind all of them trees, and then our animals sit down here on the football field. So I'm just going to continue walking and soak in this beautiful weather and then get the fish fed. I'm just about to arrive at the small pond that I built from scratch on my own, and it just fills me with joy. It looks incredible. The fish are thriving, which is one of the main things, and also the grass and flowers have started to grow up so nicely that it's no longer looking fully like a building site like it has for the last year.
Hello, welcome to the golden days. The right place and you're right on time. These moments are the ones you'll save, hold on to for the rest of your life. These here are the golden here are the golden days. Oh, yeah.
Can we just appreciate for a small moment how glorious this is looking? I tell you what, on a day like today, this looks so inviting. There's a fish right there, a sunfish. I think you call them like bluegills in the States, but it looks absolutely glorious. Look at them reflections, the water quality is incredible. You got the view up to all of the trees that are flowering in the mountains, fish swimming around, unbelievable. And look at all these flowers and grass that is started to take along the bank, and that's going to do two things. That's going to stop erosion, it looks nice, and it also gives some of the fish something to feed on as well, and brings in more insects, gives the frogs places to hide. Glorious. There's so many fish just hanging out right there. Look at that. Spring has awoke. Right, so it's time to get these fish fed. Give them about 2 handfuls in the morning, and they absolutely love it. And as you can see, the fish go absolutely wild for this stuff. Floats on the top, they come up and absolutely demolish it off the surface. It's just really nice to watch. I'm just walking back from the small pond to go and start the project that I'm so excited about on the main lake. And I don't know if I've ever showed you this other pond that is just here. Let me show you and see if you've seen it before. So check this out, nestled between the trees, almost in its own little forest, is this pond down here. It's absolutely thriving. A frog just jumped in. There's a little bit of algae forming, but this is literally just a pond that does its own thing. It even has an overflow and everything. Wow, that frog's just gone absolutely wild. And there's one swimming around there. It's so good to see all the wildlife. That's what I love about these natural ponds, is they just allow the wildlife to thrive. I actually only discovered that this pond had an overflow the other day. Absolutely crazy, look at that. The water is flowing out of there so nicely, so there must be a lot of water coming into this pond. I have no idea where from, but I'm gonna have to work it out someday.
All the love in this heart is for you forever. All I am, every part is for you forever.
As you know, life on the farm means I'm always moving around, from the garage to various different ponds around the property and even deep in the forest. It means that I need power I can rely on. The EcoFlow River 2 Max is super lightweight at only 6.1 kg, so I carry it around without even thinking about it. And it only takes 60 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%, so it's ready to go when you need it. It powers my tools, charges my phone, and even runs a fan in the summer. With an AC output of 500 watts, you can use the X Boost mode to crank it up to 1000 watts to run up to 80% of high wattage appliances. So there's also 4 different ways that you can charge the EcoFlow 2 River Max, and that's through AC power, through your car, USB-C, and even a solar panel. And you can use a smart app on your phone to control it using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. So what you're waiting for? Stay powered up and grab your own EcoFlow River 2 Max power station today by clicking the link in our description. Good morning. It is super windy today, and good morning once again, because this is actually 2 days after I filmed the last bit of this video, because yesterday me and Bee decided to come out on the lake. It was the perfect opportunity to clear some azolla before I do what I'm going to do today. It's all very exciting.
I washed your body down, your muddy feet up to your crown. We drank from the pure dark stream. You were safe, almost clean. In this moment race of my most coveted dreams, when I close.
So to say that we put in a shift yesterday is an absolute understatement. Look at this. I know it's an absolutely massive pond, lake, whatever you want to call it, but look at that. We have cleaned so much azolla yesterday. We put in a proper long shift and just decided to get as much out as we can, because today is the day that I fit the aeration, and this is going to be a game changer. But if I look down there, it's crystal clear. I can see all different fish just swimming around. It's like looking into a new world. Also, I don't know if you can see that plastic chair, but that was actually under the water right at the bottom. And I know that doesn't look very deep. That's actually over 3 meters deep just there. And you can see right to the bottom. But yeah, that chair was just sitting in there. It must have blown off in the wind. So this right here is what I'm dealing with. This is the air compressor for the lake, and this is designed for a 3-acre lake, so this should be perfect for what we're dealing with here. And you can see, if I come around the other side into the sun, you'll be able to see there that Bella has had a right good go in at this box, absolutely tore it apart. We left her in the house for a little bit and she's got a little bit of separation anxiety going on, and you can tell by what she's done here, but we're working on it. But it's not a problem, nothing inside is damaged. So I paid about, I think it was like just over 400 euros for this aeration unit, and the reviews online were really good. That is why I went for this one, and it was available in the country where I am, which is Portugal, which is good. And it literally turned up in probably about 3 or 4 days, which was really impressive. This is not sponsored, this is just my real experience from this product. So right now I'm going to start setting it up. I cannot wait to get this in and working. Right, so let's see what's in the box. On top, first of all, you've got the first aerator, and it looks really good quality metal, nice and strong. So that's obviously something screws into there, the air pipe goes into there, and then all the bubbles get released from the bottom of the pond, creating oxygen, which will really help. And then under here, I imagine there's another one, because I spec'd the option to have two, so I can have 2 different areas with these aerators, which is going to really help. And then you've got all of the hose. This hose is meant to sink, which is obviously very useful because you don't want it along the top, especially if I'm in the boat. Put that over there. Another one, I think you got 100 feet of pipe. And then I'm guessing that the compressor, don't know if I need that. Yeah, the compressor and all the bits are in the bottom here. So I'm going to pull that out, see what needs doing. So the whole goal of this aeration is to aerate the water, create more oxygen in the water, move the water around, which means the azolla can't settle, because the azolla that's on top of the water thrives on stagnant water. And the problem with this lake is it's got a big island in the middle, so the water coming in, it's very hard for it to flow around really freely because of this big island. So I think eventually we may even need 2 of these, one on this side of the lake, and then behind me, the other side of the island, we'll probably need a couple over there as well, just to keep the water moving around in all parts of the lake. But I haven't heard a bad review about aeration in ponds and lakes, so I'm very excited. I've just set up the air compressor on this block so it's off the ground. Obviously there's grass around. I imagine this will get hot and we don't want any trouble. Soon I'll be building a proper area for this, but for today I just need to get it off the ground and working. And now it's time to connect the hoses. Everything else was like, took 2 minutes, super simple.
Hello, welcome to the golden days. The right place and you're right on time. These moments are the ones you'll save. Hold on to for the rest of your life. These here are the golden days. These here are the golden days. Oh, we'll talk about these days 20 years from now.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but if I just stay silent for a second, you can probably hear all of the frogs just going off. I absolutely love it. Spending time on the water is my favourite thing, and just going around in the boat, cleaning up the area, absolutely love it. But I've got a knife and some rope, and you're probably thinking, Theo, why did you just attach aerators to laundry baskets? I know it looks a bit random and a bit weird, but there's a good reason for it. I saw a guy do it on YouTube and I thought it was such a great idea. So I've just cable tied the aerators to these laundry baskets, and what that's going to do is just keep them off the ground, just a little bit off the bottom of the lake, so it doesn't stir up all of the muck that's sitting on the bottom. It should work really nicely, fingers crossed. So the exciting part is about to begin. I'm about to jump in my new boat. It has an electric motor. It makes life so much easier. I've only tried it once before, basically yesterday when we were clearing the Azola, but I'm super excited to get back out in it. Fully charged battery. Let's get these aeration units dropped off where they need to be. It's so useful having a boat ramp. I've connected up the battery and I need to give myself a big push off, stick it in reverse and get some work done. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. Right, here we go. Guys, look at this. Absolutely glorious. This right here is what dreams are made of. Just cruising through my own lake. I'm literally only on half speed right now. This actually goes pretty quick. Let me put it on full and you'll be able to see we can really speed round where we need to go. Unbelievable. And the frogs are everywhere jumping out the way. You can see how well it churns up the Azola behind me. Absolutely brilliant. What a boat. I'm so happy I went for this. The perfect size for this lake. The electric engine is amazing. Super stoked. I've got my float bottle, I've got my aeration unit, and I'm basically just going to head out now to a location where I want to drop it. Just nice and slowly so that this, I've got Bee and Furrnando on the bank, just trying to make sure that this doesn't kink, because the last thing we want is an air hose to be kinked, because obviously no air is going to be able to get through it. Okay, so I'm just looking for a location to drop this down. I think somewhere around here. It's pretty tricky to see with all this Azola, but just going to reverse back a little bit and find a perfect location. They're big hoses, but not as long as I thought. I would have liked to go a bit further, but it is what it is. We'll drop this down, see if this works. Should fill up with water and sink. Okay, so the first one is in, and this is the second one. And I tried with the laundry baskets, and they didn't work at all. For some reason, the weight was wrong, and they were just flipping upside down. This was sitting upside down, which obviously I don't want. So I've just gone back to normal, but I am still tying the float to it. So maintenance, and I just know where they are, and I can pull them up easily, give them a clean, and should be perfect. The next one, so I just put one over there, and now the next one is going to go the other side of there. I need to see how long the air hose is. Well, I'm going to do the same again, head out that way and then towards that direction. It's so nice to be able to see through the water to the bottom. There's just so much wildlife. There's fish I don't even know what are in here. I feel like I'm seeing all these different fish. And I didn't put them in there, so. Right, let's get some speed and head to where we want to go. We're going to the deepest part of the lake. I think that's a good place to start with the aeration. We're nearly there. Here goes. Oh wow, that is deep. That's a perfect location. That is really deep. Right, throw this up. We're in business. Just need to make sure when I'm on the boat that I don't go over these lines. That was pretty much as technical as it gets. It's not easy on a boat doing all these things, but we got there. I'm excited to go and plummet in on the bank and turn it on and see what happens. Right, let's get some speed going, break up some of this azola and get back to the bank. This is so much fun. Just look at that. I do think maybe in the future, or maybe soon, I need another couple that side of the island, because obviously that's not going to get aerated over that side. These blue buckets, well, no, not buckets, are they? What are they? Containers are doing very well. I know exactly where to avoid in the boat. And then over here where no azola grows, this is where the water is piped in. So it's piped in here, and also it comes in naturally the other side as well. But this is just a dream. Doesn't get much better than this. Okay, so very exciting times. I have just turned on the pump. Let me just stay quiet for a second. It's really not that loud. Once I build a house for it, and my idea is, because right now it's plugged into mains power from the house, just on an extension, but my plan is to run it off solar, and I think I could run 2 of these off solar, which would be incredible. So what I'm thinking is create a little house for it, a couple big solar panels, maybe like 1500 watt of solar, maybe more, and then that should be able to run both of them, or just this one. Let's see how this one does first, but already I'm very impressed. It's a lot stronger than I imagined it would be. So it's really patchy here, as you can see, but it started to move around a little bit. There's obviously some circulation happening. I can see a fish down there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. There we go, loving life. Amazing. I love this place. What a place. What a place. Look at this. So the aerator already, a huge area around it is being disturbed, and the azola is wanting to spread away from it. You've got the water inlet there. So the water inlet is piped in there. I piped that into there. That was never a thing, to try and get some oxygen in there. And it does help. You can see there's a small area where no azola is growing, but this is amazing to see. Unbelievable. And I can already see fish around there. Unbelievable. They're going to be loving it. And I'll show you where the other water comes in. Oh, there's just fish everywhere. I don't know if you can see that. Loving life. So the other water comes down the valley and in there, and I'll go and show you that in a moment. But I'm going to go out on the boat and explore and see what's going on. I should have done this way sooner, but I get a lot of people commenting like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Life's hard. There's a lot to do. It's a big property, and everything you see on video is just like tip of the iceberg. Obviously, there's cooking food, There's looking after the animals, feeding the animals, going to the stores, driving hours to pick up various materials. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. Maybe I'll start showing some of that if you guys want to see that. But I am really impressed with this. My boat is moored up there. I am absolutely loving it. I'm going to show more on the next video about the boat. But this is actually really quite quiet. I was expecting it'll be a lot louder than this. Right, let's get this in reverse. And let's go and explore the lake a little bit. See what's going on. A frog right there, trying to escape. Hello, mate. You're wondering what's going on? Right, let's go. Let's go and do a lap over the aeration. See what's happening. God, it's created so many bubbles. Absolutely incredible. It's really impressive. The duck house, soon to hopefully be housing ducks. I'm just going to do a loop around here to break some of this up because this is actually the thickest area. There's so many frogs. I do love the sound of the frogs though. I really enjoy it. They're absolutely everywhere. It just churns it up so nicely. I know I keep saying it, but I'm really impressed with that. The output is immense. Like that is 3 meters down, I think. The one behind it is definitely 3 meters. You can see in the distance there. This one, I'd say probably 2.5 meters. And it's pushing up so much bubbles. That's exactly what is needed. I'm just going to keep cruising around for a little bit and break up this azola. The frogs are just immense. I'm seeing so much wildlife. Frogs, there's newts, lizards, I've seen snakes around here. The snakes in Portugal, they're nothing to worry about. They won't cause any harm unless you're seriously... Oh, I just seen the turtle pop up right near the aerator. Must be loving it. So we're just going over another one now. And I definitely just saw the turtle. I'm going to do a loop back round and we'll see if we can find him. Just to see some clarity in the water is incredible and not be completely covered in azola. But this boat is everything that I need here. It's doing wonderfully. Right, I'm gonna slow down and let's go and check out this aerator and see if there's any fish hanging around. But the turtle definitely popped his head up, so I'll keep an eye out for him. Right, motor's off. Look at this. You can see how clear the lake is. You can see the bubbles all the way to the bottom. Absolutely brilliant. If this can keep a couple of areas clear for this summer that we can actually swim in here around the aerator, that would be unbelievable. Because swimming in that, it's not the most fun. I feel like we're getting there. Yeah, I definitely feel like improvements are being made. We worked our asses off yesterday to clear as much azola as we could because I knew today I was fitting this aerator. And yeah, it feels like with the aeration, with ducks, and I'm still trying to source one of them conveyor belt machines for the right price. When we get that, that is when we get 20 friends around over a weekend and just shovel all of the azola onto the conveyor belt, into trailers and dump it. And that can be used for animal feed, it can be used for putting around trees as mulch, as compost. It's amazing stuff. We just don't want it in the lake because it's just horrible. It's ugly. It's actually worth quite a lot of money as well. If you look online how much a small bit of Azolla costs, it's quite expensive stuff. So basically sitting on a gold mine that I don't want. I'm just gonna do one final lap around the lake. But I can tell you, this is so much fun just whipping around on this boat. And the aeration, the Azolla just doesn't want to go anywhere near it. I know I've just showed you, but look at that. Can swim right there. I might even go for a dip. Maybe I'll go for a little swim in it. It is ice cold, mountain spring water. They're the clearest water I've ever seen in my life. But we'll just travel up to the second aerator, and then I think I probably do need to put an aerator the other side of the lake. But this is just stunning. Look at that. And off we go. What a lake, what a place. And this is a sign of things to come. 100%. And I said that I'd show you where the other water comes in, so I'm going to go there now and show you what that's looking like, because it's pretty impressive. So a lot of flow of water comes into this lake. And this is the diving spot right there at the deepest place. You can dive off that rock into the water. And we're just heading back to the boat ramp where I can dock the boat and move on to the next thing. Successful morning, I will say. So right now I'm just walking up the mountain a little bit so I can show you guys the amount of water that is coming into the lake at the moment. And as I said before, it's piped in, but any water that doesn't make it through the pipe goes over another section and gets dammed up and filtered, and then comes over right here. So there's the pipe the water goes down under the ground and down there, and any water that doesn't go through the pipe comes from two other ponds where the water is filtered and comes out crystal clear. That is the cleanest water, and it all just goes under the road and all the way down the valley until eventually it reaches the lake.
Well done.
Oh, it's so cold.
Here you go.
It's so cold. I'm burning. I'm so happy that I went in the water. It was absolutely invigorating. It's so cold. Trout are definitely gonna love this lake, that's for sure. Freezing cold, mountain, spring water. So fresh, so nice. That's the same water that we drink, so it's pretty incredible. Thank you for joining me, and join me on the next video for more crazy things that are gonna happen.